Up? What's happening? Welcome to another episode of Figuring It Out with your favorite artist, me, Forrest Job. If you didn't already know, Figuring Out is a web series about artists figuring out life, figuring out their art journey. And I figured I'd start with myself. I've interviewed other artists and comedians, but I eventually want to branch off into different fields um, and just get that knowledge. But for now, we'll start out with the artists. This is my first quarter report. It is January 24th, 2025. We are at the end of January, and it has been a wild ride. Let me see. Where do I begin? Oh, yeah. I moved to Mexico. Go me. That's right. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, to be exact. I made the decision to move here. Well, it wasn't in April when I came down here for a veteran psychedelic retreat. Um, I moved like when I was walking through the streets. I was like, I think if I work really, 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 really figuring hard, I can live down here part time. And so I got back to the to Atlanta, and I just was on that hamster wheel of struggle. I think that's some of the frustrations I had after the retreat because I was expecting to have these wonderful breakthroughs to where I was going to have the specific answer to get me out of the hole of debt that I had created for myself. I had got, the year prior, I had gotten $30,000 from my father's life insurance policy after he passed away. Actually, we got like over 70 some thousand, but I had to give 10% cut to my mama, and I split the rest down the middle with my brother. And so that was cool. It wiped away all the debt that I had. Um, Fortunately, because I'm 100% disabled veteran, my student loans got wiped away. So for there was a brief period of time when I didn't have any debt, and it was great. I ended up getting a nice apartment right there in Decatur, and I was trying to do Uber, but that shit sucked. Um, because I was chasing a dream, and every time I was driving, I was looking around, and I was just seeing all these nice places, and I was asking myself like, why the fuck isn't this my life? Because like I'm smart as fuck, and I'm ambitious. I felt like I was doing all the right things. I learned to take more than that. Like my mindset wasn't where it needed to be. And I did. I remember January, I think 8th. It was on my mama's birthday, 2023. Was it 23? Yeah. I took my Uber, that thing with the light in the front. I forgot what they call it. Took that, the airport placard, and I threw it in the garbage, and I stopped doing Uber. And I swore I wasn't going to go back. And I went really hard with the comedy. And I would go to like comedy spots, and I would see Uber drivers. I'm like, oh, not going back to that life. But I was living off of my credit cards, taking out cash advances. I had a $200 a week weed situation. And then it got to a point where the bill collectors were calling. I couldn't take out no more cash advances. And I had to go back to the streets. It was almost like how Biggie had to go back to the streets and sell crack. Uh, Going to that retreat once again, I thought I was gonna have get the magic answer. Nope. Well, I mean, I did, but it wasn't what I wanted. It's what I needed. That has been the theme for the last few years of my life. Me getting all the things that I need. Barely anything that I want, but everything I need. I mean, I did get that beautiful apartment. I thought I would have been fucking way more women in that apartment, but when you're chasing your dreams, the pussy don't flow like that. Uh, it's a hilarious comedian back in Atlanta that I met on the open mic scene. D Hart, he had a good joke where he's like, "Hey, don't ghost a woman. Just tell her that you're chasing your dreams. And you'll never hear from her again." So shout out to him. But getting back to Atlanta, things weren't going how I wanted them to, and I just started looking. I was like started looking at apartments in Puerto Vallarta, and the prices. I was like, oh my goodness, one bedrooms for less than $1,000 a month, not far from the beach. I was sold, and I thought it was going to be an easy ride, and then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, a 33-hour drive. I don't know. I flew there, so my perception of the time was thrown off. And I didn't know how it was going to happen, but during your journey, you've got to remove the how. You've got to remove the how, the when, and the evidence. Shout out to narrow knowledge, but definitely got to remove the how. And I was like, you know what? I've got my. That was April. No, I think May is when I just made the definite decision that I was going to move. And so I was like, all right, I've got 5 months, about 5 months to make all this happen. And so I started slowly but surely downsizing, throwing stuff out, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna see what I could fit in this car with my dog, and we're gonna make it happen. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna drive because I wanted to take a cross country road trip first. And at the time, I had a 2018 Honda Accord, and I had thought about trading it in, but I didn't want a new car note. I was just gonna get some new tires, and I think it had over 100,000. Man, I was racking up miles doing that Uber shit. I was constantly getting oil changes, like just putting way too much mileage on there. And then one day I was doing Uber. It was a shared ride. Like I maybe had like three people in my car, and all the lights came on, and I was like, "Oh my fucking goodness!" And I'm thinking like, "What the fuck?" Because Honda Civics, you be thinking, "Oh, they gonna last forever." I think probably because people get sucked in and they get the maintenance on. I think that's the same way with Jeeps. I had a fucking Jeep Cherokee. That shit was trash. But I'm thankful that I had the money to get it. So there we go. But all the lights came on. I tried to find a resolution on YouTube. I reset stuff, and it gave me about an hour of time, and then it came back on. And so I went to, where'd I go? AutoZone. Yeah, I did the diagnostic thing. It was fine. Uh, I probably could have taken it to a dealership, but at the time, money was tight. Money was tight because even though I was doing Uber, I was doing just enough to get by. I was only driving maybe as low as 3 hours. If I really needed the money, I would do six. Like shit was gonna get cut off if I didn't do six. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to drive these thousands of miles and have to deal with a car giving out on me, like dying on me. So I was like, you know what? I'll bite the bullet. I'm just my cost of living was gonna go down anyways by moving down here. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get a new car. So I was like, all right. I was like, you know what? I'll get a Toyota. It's funny I picked Toyota because during my psychedelic trip after I came out of it, Star Wars was in my algorithms a lot, and I was like, I got to get the Yoda for these answers, and I get a Toyota. Is I got a Toyota Corolla. Um, I got it. There was the Toyota. I went to the Toyota Stonecrest. They had a cyber attack going on. I didn't know this, so it took a while for me to get the registration, but I got it. Got a black one, 2024, nice car. Um, but I got sexually assaulted on the car note. Yeah, the interest rate. I think it was like $620 a month. Yeah, yeah. Fix your credit, kids. So and I was double what I was paying because the car note I had is about 300. And so I'm like, damn. I was like, you know what? I just got to make it to I get up out of here. And I racked up a lot of miles on that thing in like a very very little bit amount of time. And so I finally get to when it was time to leave, and it was just interesting. Like it kind of felt like things were coming together. Like I retired from comedy. Like I wasn't dealing with no more bullshit with that. And so I was focusing on the music, and things were like I felt like things were clicking. Uh, met a dope artist, him. Got a placement on his project, but I was like, you know what? No matter what, I've got to leave because I either had the option of if I was staying, I thought about trying to get a house down in Union City or Hapeville, and I was looking at it, and my man, my credit isn't where I need to be, and I'm gonna have to keep trying to get this money. I was like, you know what? Just leave. So drove cross country trip, drove out to LA, got out of LA before the fires. Went to Joshua Tree, did shrooms, had a wonderful experience of bringing the new year. Then drove to Phoenix, dipped down, crossed the border at Nogales, and then Nogales to San Carlo. And from San Carlo to Los Mochis, I got extorted by the cops. Yeah, yeah. I have been smoking medicinal while I was in the States, smoking in the car. It be what it be because I couldn't smoke in the Airbnb. So I was like, and it was cold in some of the places. I wasn't gonna smoke outside. But so the dude smelled weed. I don't know. I was nose blind to it. But the cop smelled weed and he was like, "Hey, get up out the car." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm thinking like this is the United States, to where the cops tell you to get out the car, it's not gonna be good. And another truck pulled up. Now these aren't regular, like you be thinking police back in the States, just Mr. Cop, like Chief Wiggum from The Simpsons, and he's got his sidearm and shit. Nah, these cats they had their M4s, they was in all black. And I was like, oh fuck, how am I gonna get out of this one? But I had watched Limitless before I made the journey, and there was a scene where it was like, hey, you can think your way out of this. And I had that faith and belief that I was going to think my way out of it. And so they looked through my car, they searched through my shit, and they find two filters and a grinder. I'm like, fuck. And so I tell them, like, I don't got no weed in this car, like none. I smoked in the United States, but I didn't smoke here. And I was like, that don't matter. And I was like, I can take everything in my car and show you I don't have any weed in here. And he was like, nah, homie. He was like, hey, you gonna have to go back to the court, to the judge. And I'm all like, I was leaving my dog, and I was like, well, can I drive and y'all follow me back? And he was like, nah, you gonna have to ride with us. And I'm like, fuck that shit. And so I was like, think. So one of them spoke good enough English for us to be able to have like somewhat of a conversation. I knew I was going to be okay because he was wearing his boonie cap. It was the 511 brand, and I was wearing 511 boots. And so we're using the translator app going back and forth. And so I type in there, crazy shit. I tell him, I am a God. I am on a mission for God, and I can tell you things that will make you a rich man. And so he took it over to his partner, and they started laughing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be okay. And so the dude, he's like, yo, what are you willing to do to get out of this? And I'm like, I can pay. I was like, oh shit, Why didn't you lead with that? Which, if we led with that, I was like, I've been hesitant, but hey, it be what it be. And so he told me that first he wanted 8,000 pesos, which 8,000. Let me do the math real quick, because my math skills ain't what they used to be. Let me see how many. I love ChatGPT. USD is 8 pesos. Mexican pesos. All right, analyzing. All right, so pretty much he wanted damn near $500. I ain't had that much on me, so I had my fanny pack. I had a stash in there, and then I had a stash in my other bag, my other little bag. And so I was like, "Hey, yo, I can give you this." Then I was like, "Hey," he was like, "Hey, let's go over to the car." And so I'm just going through, and I start out with 1,000 pesos. He looks at me, give him 500, 500 more. I think he got me for about 2,000, almost 2,000 pesos, which have been like roughly between 150 and $200. And I was like, fuck, I still got to make it the rest of this trip. I've got to get gas, and I've also got to pay for these tolls because I took 15D all the way down. Gang of tolls. And so, but I was like, you know what? I'll worry about that shit later. And so, but then I told him, I was like, yo, homie, if y'all gonna like get me for my money, at least let me play my guitar for y'all. So I'm playing the guitar, and the dude takes out the phone. I'm playing, I know some, Mexican chords and shit. I'm there, doom, 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 singing and shit. I'm like, y'all need to sing too. But it was cool. It was cool. And then I told him, I was like, if y'all want to be, I told him, y'all don't want to be doing this job all day, every day, right? And I was like, yes, sir. And I was like, just do what you love and you will make a lot of money. Very simple, but hey. And the guy who I've been talking to, the 511 hat, he was like, this is the number to my cousin in Puerto Vallarta. Hit him up and he give you a tour. So first of the month, I'm going to go ahead and hit him up, see what that's about. I need to go to immigration, take care of that. I got to get paid because the way, yeah, you know what? Let me get the rest of the story. So yeah, I was just happy to get out of that situation. I get to Los Mochis, and I'm like, I was just happy to be there, and I was like, all right. So I had enough. I had enough to get gas for maybe two more stops, and I was like, I got to get more cash because these tolls, I ain't got enough for gas and tolls. And so the next morning I leave and I get gas. I couldn't find ATM, and I'm glad I looked up on Reddit because they said like if I would have gone to BBVA, I would have got like screwed on the conversion rate. And so I got gas. I popped I microdosed some shrooms, so I was already emotional. And then I'm just driving, and I'm just feeling like, what the fuck, man? I break down, and I'm just like I'm ugly crying, just calling out to God and shit. So yeah, God, I just needed to cry. I was like, I got it out. Get to Mazatlan, and it was beautiful. Like that was my first real taste of the beach down there, and because I wasn't that far from it, it was dope. The Airbnb I was at, it was dope too. It showed me how much space that I didn't need. I really wasn't a fan of the bathroom, and in the stairwell on the way up to it, it was narrow as fuck. I couldn't even get little Thelma's kennel up there. But yeah, then the next day, well, was it that night? Yeah, that day I got there, I went to the ATM, Citibank Mex or whatever how you call it. And there was a woman in there that spoke good enough English, and I was like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" and got on there. And as soon as I put it, I was like, oh, they got an English option. I was like, oh shit. Thanked her, pulled out my money. I was like, all right, bet. One another hurdle hopped over. So next day got oh yeah, the next day got up, and when I've been booking these Airbnbs, I don't know. I think I would have I don't know, maybe I didn't do enough research to see that like um I thought that adding a dog to that thing would have increased the price, and I was like, I'm balling on a budget. And so the one I found for Puerto Vallarta, I didn't see the no dogs. My bad. Excuse me. I didn't see the no dogs thing, no pets allowed. Usually a lot of them would just say that up front, but that didn't. So that day I got the message in there said, "Hey, no dogs allowed, not even service animals." And I'm like, but I was like, you know what? I stopped, I breathed, I prayed, and I was like, you know what? I just got to get down there, and we'll figure it out from there. So got gas, and then after that, the emotions. I think I microdosed again. I don't know. The emotions got the best of me, and I was just once again ugly crying, like hard wailing. And I pulled over. I got out of the car. I got on my knees. I'm like, God, I need you. Um, it's funny because God is already in me, and it was funny. I was like, you know what? You done crying? Looked over, and there was some Mexican dudes looking at me. I gave him the fist pump, and I kept it moving. And it was just a beautiful ride down there, like just beautiful, beautiful. I was flirting with the toll ladies on the way there. Every time I would just say, "Hey, muy bonita," and then one of them was like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, told her, "Puerto Vallarta," and she said, she was like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" I was like, "No." She was like, "It won't take you long to find one." I was like, "Bet." And so I got down there, and I talked to the Airbnb woman and told the situation and kind of that. And I was like, you know what? I'll just switch Airbnb. So I canceled that. I shortened it. I had to, the minimum was 3 days. So I took a L, a few $100, about $100 on that. Found a new one. I ended up, I didn't really, I slept, I tried to sleep in the car because I wasn't leaving little Thelma in the car overnight. I would just go to the room, use the Wi-Fi, download videos from my Opus Club, upload them to YouTube, and yeah. Went to the next Airbnb. It was all right. Only thing I didn't like was it was a lot of street traffic. The door, like you walk out the door and you're right there on the street. There wasn't like, and then little Thelma, she had to poop like in the street. And then the microwave and the stove weren't working. And I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work. And I wasn't getting no hot water. I was like, oh, can't stay here. And so switched to another Airbnb, and my goodness, I felt like home. It's like a compound, and I walked in the space. It's perfect. It is perfect in here. It's like a 1 bedroom, and then I got a living room area out here, got a kitchen, and then kind of a little spot out there outside the door. And I'm envisioning I could use that as a art studio. And so the guy, he's a pastor, is real cool to the church next door. I've been to church, and so I'm claiming this space. I know there's going to be people coming in like March, April, whatever, but I'm claiming like the plans will work out in my favor, whatever happens. So it's been a cool experience. I got it. I'm believing this money situation to be fine because like I had to pull money out of my Robinhood, sell my crypto. I got enough to get me to, let me see, I got already purchased Friday, Saturday night. I need to take care of, I got the money for Sunday, Monday night. I just got a payday is, let me see, calculator. Not calculator, I mean calendar. All right, so we're on the 24th. So Sunday, I got the 27th. All right. So I believe I get an influx of money, or um, maybe payday will hit earlier, which is not a holiday, but the 31st. So I'm scheduled to either get paid on Thursday or Friday. So I need to take care of Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. It's 3 days. I'm not finna do the math. One, two, three, 3 days, and then four at the latest. I'll be fine. Like I literally just walked out, and there's a couple of older Canadian couples, and one of them offered me a salad with some bread, and just I've been able to go to the store around the corner and get ramen and stuff and soup. So, but I know as soon as I get paid, one of the first things I'm getting is I am getting a large pizza from Domino's. I am going to fuck that pizza up. I can just taste it. So, yeah. All right. On to the art. It's been cool to get in my hour long guitar practice. I am working on my first album. I was thinking about making an EP, but I'm gonna make it an album because I'm gonna have interludes. You know what? I just need to record the vocals first. Let me create first and then worry about other shit, because that's just been my blockage. The beats, the production, no problem. I have been making some of the most fire beats ever. And I I look forward I don't know, I might use AI to cuz I don't know. I use the basic, like I throw EQ, different stuff, the mix on there, um, and then I master. I just hit the button. I need to watch some YouTube videos, but that's been cool. But it's like recording the vocals. So I've it's that I'm that artist that don't like hearing my voice on the recordings, and so I. But it's funny because I don't mind hearing myself when I'm doing my guitar. So there's that. But I've been on Chat GPT, and I put in there, hey, help, come up with a vocal chain for certain artists. So I put like Young Lean. I don't think I like the Young Lean too much one, but Lil Peep, and then also McConan. Those are like similar artists that I've been um, looking at or referencing. So there's that. Working on. I don't have a name. I'm thinking Love Lust Lost Hoes for the first one, and the songs are gonna be no longer than about 2 minutes. Yeah. I've already done an open mic since I did now down here last week at this place called Nacho Daddy. While I was waiting to go on there, I saw an art gallery. I was like, cool. So I walked over there, talked to the dude at the desk. No, I haven't been. I haven't been doing coke. It's just my nose be itching because of damn nose ring sometimes. But yeah, I talked to the dude and I asked him, hey, how do I get my art in gallery? And he said, hey, you got to get your Mexican tax ID, because what happens is they do 60-40 splits with the artist. They take 40, give the artist 60. But for the Mexican tax ID, when they get the invoice, they got to show that the artist has that ID, so that they only get taxed on the 40% versus getting taxed on the whole 100. So yeah, so I just got to get that. Um, and he was like, hey, there's like 29 galleries around here. Go ahead and if you just got to go around showing me art. Somebody gonna take you. And I'm like, look at God. Why did it have to be this hard in Atlanta? Why? Why? Why fucking why? Whew, I swear. Just thinking about that shit just it just agitated me, man. That's why I had to get up out of Atlanta because I was gonna get to a point where I hated my people. I was gonna get to that point. And especially like when I had that spirited conversation with Maya Bailey, um, he's like, no, even with him, like I asked him straight up, looked at him, I was like, hey, yo, how do I get my art into your space? He was like, oh, show me your art. I think I talked about this in the other figuring it out, but just jumping through the fucking hoops. It's like, who the fuck trying to do it? I'm sorry, I came from the army. I ain't trying to. I ain't tickling no nuts. I ain't tickling no clits. I'm not playing the damn game like that. Like I tried, but I was like, fuck that shit. Like what the, no. And once again, all like that's the reason why the art is the way it looks. It's safe because safe art sells. It's funny because oh man, I on topic but off topic. I was on Threads and they were talking about Michelle Obama not going to the inauguration, and I my response I reposted and I was like, oh, Big Mike staying home because I was in Reddit and I learned that Michelle Obama was born with a penis, so that's the running joke amongst the conservatives. So I put that on there, and then there was this artist called named Jarrell. He goes by Imitation by Jarrell, and he tagged he said something. I can't remember what it was. I don't even feel like looking it up. You know what? Hold on. Where's my phone? All right, let me find because I need to wrap this up soon. I need to wrap this up. Let's see. Pull this up. Chat. No. God damn. Goth Atlanta. I look forward to buying her time. I love me some Goth Atlanta. She stayed with her mama too. I can tell by her bed, the headboard. It's that old looking headboard, and you know that women that either live with their granny or their mama, they got that old looking furniture. All right, let me see. Where is it at? Where is this bitch nigga's fucking response at? All right. Where's it at? We're almost there. Not there. Hold on. Nope, not there. Nope. Where the fuck is it at? I don't think I deleted it. All right, I'm only gonna give it like a few more looks, and then I might just take the L on it. Nope. Oh, there we go. All right. So said, let me see. And to be honest, you really should start with Michael you have at home. Tell her to stop bleaching her skin and wearing those wigs. She could take a tip from Michelle, and so could you. That didn't make no sense. And then he tags Selena Marche, which that was I did her podcast You Plus Happy, and so he's like, "Do you know this man? The one that disparages a woman of color publicly on the internet? And this your friend?" Ladies, do not trust these parenting motherfuckers, man. And I was gonna say, hey, parenting ain't gonna get you the pussy, but I don't think he likes vagina like that. And so I'm like, all right. I just laugh. And I jacked some of his art, put it in a collage, and of course I tag him. because he did block me on Thread. So I used another. I used one of my backup accounts. All right, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, there we go. Um, so I did that, and I was like, all right. I forgot what I initially said. I told him like, yo, I'll be in. I was supposed to be in Atlanta in like August. You know, we could talk about it. And he says, drop the Addy, sis. I'm waiting. Meanwhile, I'm selling my art to celebrities. Who's buying yours? And my response is, your art sells because it's safe and boring. Laughing emoji. Clearly, your reading comprehension is lacking because I said I'll holler at you next time I'm in ATL. I won't be back till like August. We can set it up, promote it, make some money off of it since that's all you care about. I was going to train. I mean, I'm still going to train, but I was like, we could set it up, do an art show. And then the bitch blocked me. So, yeah. It's like money don't drive me like that. So it'd be funny to run into him. Like, hey, yo, what's up? You want these hands? You want this jujitsu? Once again, that's why the art scene is boring. It's so boring. All they care about is sales. But is there anything else I need to discuss? All right. Oh, plans for the first quarter. First quarter is to get locked into a long-term rental to be here. And I also need to make sure my immigration stuff is good. So there's that. Finish the album. I'm not gonna announce a release date until it's finished. I need to write these down. So we'll do it together. Good Lord, that woman is fine. Whew, I ain't finna tell y'all shit. I gotta keep that one to myself. All right. I gotta use my right hand. Sorry. You know what? No, my left needs to get some work. Besides beating my meat. Rental. Immigration. Oh yeah, that's why the money was tight, because I didn't expect for the permit for my car to drive it down here to cost as much as it did. And then the cops that got me. Immigration. Okay. I'm doing a voluntary repo. They could have the car. I don't need that shit. Album. And then join a yoga studio. Join a yoga studio. Jiu-jitsu gym. Get this damn tooth pulled. I need to get a new MacBook. Fuck. I'm not talking about like fuck, like in the fuck. No, I need to fuck. I need some pussy. I ain't had no pussy since December. And OnlyFans, OF content. I got my eye on one down here. I just got to get her content to highlight her through there. OnlyFans content partner. All right. So I think that's enough. That's enough for the first quarter. Oh yeah. All right. I'll close out this. So I got the OnlyFans. Brought that back. And whoever I date or am with, like, yo, this is what I do. You either fuck with it or you don't. Would you like to do this together? And so I've had to market to my market, the gays. It's funny because this nigga, he want to take me on trips. He want to like, he love my dirty draws, and I just can't. I just can't. I'm not that gay. It's a very small percentage. Small percentage. I only like my sexuality is very interesting. Like I don't want to fuck with a nigga solo. I would fuck a couple. I let a nigga suck my dick. I might give a hand job, but that's it. But yeah, now I don't mind. Like I know how to target. I'm in the gay Reddit threads. Veterans Gone Wild. Like I got to go where my market is. Free stuff. It's a free subscription because I already know. Get them in, then sell the product from there. There is a motherfucker in there just pop everything I put out. That motherfucker buys. Shout out to him. Yeah, I got my I'm up on Pornhub now. It's funny how my fear was to see my daughter's titties on Pornhub, but now my kids got to worry about seeing my dick on Pornhub. And then Red Gifts on there. Freaking Pornhub wanted to only give me 5% extra to do exclusive. I was like, no, baby, no, that's not enough. Not no exclusive deals. I'm cool. That's like TikTok. They're talking about giving creatives $50,000 to do exclusive content with them. I'm like, nah. Oh yeah, that TikTok ban only lasted. I don't know. I'm not really like I have 14,000 followers on TikTok, but I don't think there's a creator fund program here in Mexico. Oh well, I'm not tripping. I'm using that just to get my face out there. I am at 800. Oh, first quarter, 1,000 subs. I'm almost there. I'm at 820. So there's that. I still need to upload more stuff on Rumble. I'm on Daily Motion and another spot, but yeah, I think that's it. I think that is. We'll wrap it up there. I'm excited. I'm. This is the first. This year's been wild already. We only in the first month of 2025, but I am so optimistic. It's the year of Aquarius. It's funny. I took my chart placements, put them in Chat GPT because I'm a Gemini, Sun, Scorpio Moon, Capricorn Rising, and I was like, hey, what's my life going to look like in 2020 in the year of Aquarius or age of Aquarius? And it's up. It's beautiful. So this is the first year from the beginning that I've been excited about the whole year or what's to come. There's a bunch of doom and gloom on the fucking internet. I don't buy into that shit. I just, oh my goodness, I'm just excited thinking about. Thank you to Narrow Knowledge. It'd be helpful with the mindset. Will Donahue, mindset stuff, and yeah. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else? No, that's it. That's it. Let me wrap this thing up. This has been another episode of Figuring It Out. If you want to be on Figuring Out, oh yeah. Once I get locked in, I need to get some increased internet because I want to be able to do interviews and I need to get on the streaming game heavy. And I'm just excited. So if you want to talk about figuring it out, holler at me and we'll figure out how to make that shit work. And that's it. Y'all be great. Peace.